Hi Aries, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Aries, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you have the Strength card, right? So this week is going to be a moment where you tap into that Aries energy and you jump forward or you leap into something. This is where you realize that you had the strength, the power, the courage, kind of like in Wizard of Oz form, right? You had the power all along. All jokes aside though, I think this is a moment where now that you have the knowledge of something that your heart was actually in, right? Aries doesn't really lead with the heart, it leads with the head. This is what I want, I'm going after it, bang. With the Mars retrograde that's just ended, or that is now fully over, remember all planets are direct now, so everything's your fault again. You're in a space now where you've had to really look at what it is that you wanted on that deep level, and because that energy had to go inward, it's given you a really strong, or at least a much more powerful understanding of what you want in the heart space. And now that you've got the energy to push forward with it, this is you going after something that you really want in the material world, but with everything that you are. It's not just a decision that you're making in your mind. This is something that you're going for with your heart as well. It's like you've got this personal symbiosis between mind, body and spirit that is really taking place, and it's charging you forward. Outside of that, this also might be a week where a lot of you are very focused on your physical body, because the Strength card is your physical self. Like it's all of this. All right, so a lot of you might be very focused on that. For your actions and options this week, you've got the Justice card. All right, so look at this. You are fully committed. Whatever it is, whatever you're planning to embark on, or whatever it is that you're chasing, you are totally in it. It does look like for some of you, you might be seeking out a new contract, potentially a new job. For some of you, this might be where you really start your workout regime or your diet or whatever it might be. This week, you are really very focused on something, and you are 100% committed to making it happen in the real world. For your communications and conversations, you've got the King of Wands. So a Leo male could very well feature for you over the course of this week. You've got the King of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, right underneath the Strength card, Leo male. All right, so you've got a Leo man here that shows up for you in your communications very strong. This could be an ally, it could be somebody that's giving you a different perspective. It might also be somebody that you're entering into a contract with. So maybe it's a coach, maybe it's a personal trainer, maybe it's somebody that you are talking to or connecting with on a professional level that is helping you take yourself, your world, the things that you're trying to achieve to that next level. For those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, what I like about this is whoever this person is, this is the right person for you. And the reason I can tell you that is they are meeting you wherever you are. So the King of Wands is actually Aries. So this fire sign person, possibly this fire sign Leo, is able to give you the push and the challenge that you need to change something about yourself and your world. I like this because they're giving you the fire under your tushy that you need to kind of say, actually, no, this is going to happen and here's how it's going to happen. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, again, I really like this, and I also like this for you trying to implement some kind of change this week when it comes to your work or your profession. A lot of you could be having big talks with a boss this week about how you move forward. This is, I mean, if there's a pay rise or something that you've wanted or needed from your job that isn't provided as yet, this week you could have that conversation. And yes, you'll get some pushback. Yes, they're going to challenge you. Yes, they're going to ask you, well, if you want a pay rise, you tell me why you should get a pay rise, right? So like you are going to have to work for it, but there's a lot of really great energy here. And because you're committed to making it happen, it's like you're able to forge a new way to step forward in the career or in the job. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, I love this energy. It's bold, it's dynamic. This is potentially for some of you releasing new services, maybe changing up your services. This could also be a week where you're very focused on what the next sort of step for your business or your entrepreneurial journey actually looks like. For a lot of you, this week it looks like you're going after a big client. You're going after some kind of big business. Maybe something that previously you were kind of like, oh, you know, I'm not sure that this is the right step, or, you know, they're probably not gonna, you know, Mars retrograde in the sign of Gemini. This has seen you guys really second guessing yourselves. No more. Right? No more. So I love this. Go after those big clients. Go after that big business. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, this is a great week where it looks like a lot of you are very focused on the physical self, the physical health, vitality. It also looks like a lot of you are focused on where you can maybe not start a business, but definitely where you can apply your knowledge, your skills and your resources to make money. Not necessarily because you need it, but more because you kind of like, well, you know, if I can do this, something that I love, and make money from it at the same time, why wouldn't I? All right, this could be a really fun, dynamic week for a lot of you. For your love and relations, you've got the Two of Pentacles. Lots of talks about finances, money and resources with the significant other this week. For those of you that are partnered, married, in long-term commitments, there's a lot of talks about finances, budget, resources. It looks like a lot of you are planning to move as well. Maybe not anytime soon. It might not actually be until the end of the year, but there is a change of location on the horizon for a lot of you. Now, when it comes to your those of you that are single, you could be meeting a fellow fire sign this week, right? And to be honest, it might start out as something that you kind of think, no, this is just a really good connection to have or a good contact to have. You're probably not looking at it in this way, but very quickly it starts to feel like, okay, maybe this is developing into something else. And there's a part of you that's kind of trying to figure out, am I reading the signs wrong here? Or do you know what I mean? Like, you're just trying to figure it out. You're not reading the signs wrong, I can tell you that. For your money and materials, unless of course the person tells you that you are, in which case, for your money and materials, you've got the Knight of Wands. This is a speed up card. You've got a lot of fire here. Knight of Wands, King of Wands, Strength card, right? There's a lot of fire. And what this really suggests to me is this is giving you what you need to drive forward when it comes to, and so this week there are opportunities to make money. There's also opportunities to increase the frequency of payment. Maybe you're changing from monthly pay to fortnightly pay. Maybe you're changing from that to weekly pay. There's definitely a change in frequency of how you're receiving your money this week that could actually be very good for you in the long run. It also looks like a lot of you are this week, something's going to light a fire under your butt to say, okay, I need to start getting this money in and I need to start making things happen. The energy is with you, right? You've got it. All of the energy, all of the planets, they're all direct right now, right the way till April. All right. So you got a good chunk of time to really get to it. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, I love the Knight of Wands. It does suggest this week that you have potentially, like you could potentially overdo it. And if you're having any challenges or issues, it's going to be with inflammation, which means if you're going at it hammer and tongs and then you think, yeah, actually that elbow's feeling a little bit, you know, give it some rest. Go and do something with your legs. If, you know, one of your knees is a bit like, ooh, and you're like, okay, give it a rest, right? You just know wherever the inflammation is this week, you want to take a moment to kind of step back and say, okay, this needs to rest, all right? When it comes to your home and environment, for some of you, this could be that you're having guests come over, somebody that really, although you're going to have a really great time, there'll be a lot of laughter, a lot of banter, this will be somebody that really does give you the challenge, and I think it's the challenge that you need. For others of you, this looks like a week where you're probably going to be either traveling away from home, or for those of you that are partnered, your partner is traveling away from home. All that said, this looks like a really great, very dynamic week for you. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic one. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.